This is simply called the phone call recipient bracket horror bracket. The rester is sitting on his couch, watching TV. He's just called the rester? While his parents are out on a movie date and his older brother is out at a friend's house. They didn't tell him how long they'd be gone, but he notices a note on the couch which, while watching TV, he reads. If you ever need help with anything while we're gone, just call the number pound 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 pound. You can trust this person, we know them well. Last thing, if you hear a knock on the door, don't answer it under any circumstances. But besides all this, have a nice night, and we should be back soon enough. The rester contemplates whether he should read the back of the note or not right now, and decides not to. There's a back to the note? The rester turns his focus back towards the TV, but moments after doing so, it shuts off on his own. The rester turns his focus back towards the TV. Oh, I already read that. The rester grabs the TV remote and tries to turn the TV back on, but it won't turn on. Assuming that something is wrong with the TV remote, he heads to the kitchen to get new batteries. After returning to the couch, he is surprised to find that the note is gone. He looks on the floor and around the couch but can't find the note anywhere. Still not too stunned by this, however, he presumes to sit on the couch and successfully turns the TV back on. About 3.5 hours go by of the rester watching TV, with nothing else unusual happening until he hears a knock at the door. Remembering his parents' instructions not to answer the door under any circumstances, he decides to stay on the couch. About a minute later, he can hear some noise coming from the window in the room next to the room he is in currently. Spooked, the rester grabs his phone and dials the number that was on the note out of memory from reading it. Phone call recipient. Hello? Who is this? The rester. Hi, my parents told me to call you if I needed help with anything. Phone call recipient. Ah, yes, what seems to be the problem? The rester. I heard a knocking on my door, followed by some noise coming from my window. What should I do? Phone call recipient. Sounds like someone is trying to break in. Go hide in the basement and dial the number 911 and tell them your situation. Call me again afterwards so that I know you're still okay. The rester. Why 911? Phone call recipient. It's like the cops' number. They know how to deal with people trying to break into houses. The rester. Oh, okay, thanks. Maybe his name is just first name the, last name rester. The rester makes his way down into the basement and begins to make his way towards the light switch, but can hear a faint breathing in the dark. The rester. Who is there? The rester hears some rustling, but hears no response. He darts for the light switch, flips it on, and to his surprise, finds his brother asleep on the futon with the note on his stomach. Hey, the rester. Hey, wake up! The older brother. No one has names in this. What time is it? The rester. 10:03 p.m. The older brother. Oh, dang, I've been asleep down here for 3 hours. The rester. How'd you get that note? The older brother. Found it on the couch while you were in the kitchen. Brought it down here with me. The rester. Is that when you got back from your friend's house? The older brother. Yeah. The rester. Yeah. Okay.
It's Swedish.
Damn it. We should have read this when Hero was here. Okay, listen. Someone's trying to break into the house, and I heard someone at the door and then at the window. We need to call 911. The older brother. Go for it. The rester calls 911 and explains the situation. After the rester ends the call, after hearing word that police would be over right away, he sits on the futon by his brother. He immediately remembers that he needs to call back the number from the note, and does so. Phone call recipient. Hey, you doing okay? The rester. Yeah. The cops are on their way over, and it turns out that my brother was here in the basement, so I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Anything else I should do? The rester. You should probably just stay in the basement for the rest of the... Wait. This is supposed to be the recipient talking. Let the cops do their thing. The rester. Also, if you hear more knocks on the... Wait, this is still supposed to be the recipient. It keeps mislabeling people. Don't be afraid to answer it. No, wait. Don't answer it, even if they are claiming to be cops. The rester. It won't hurt to not answer the cops, even if it is that... God damn it! Price of being someone trying to kidnap you, the cops can deal with it without consulting you anyway. The rester. Okay, sounds good. I'll call you if anything else weird happens. Phone call recipient. Okay, sounds good. The rester ends the call. Older brother. Hey, who was that on your second call? The rester. The guy whose number Mom and Dad left for us on the note? You read the note, right? Older brother. Yeah. And I noticed something kind of off about it. Immediately, the two... Excuse me. Immediately, the two boys hear a loud banging coming from the front door, all the way upstairs, followed by a loud yell saying, "Open up, this is the police!" The rester. Don't listen to him. The guy on the phone told me not to answer the door, even if they say they're the police. The older brother. I don't care, I'm answering it. The rester's older brother begins to make his way up the stairs. The rester rushes up to him, trying to pull him back by the arm. The rester. Please don't. Older brother. There is nothing you can do or say that will stop me. The rester. Fine, but I'm going to stay down here. The older brother. Fine. The older brother makes his way up the stairs and to the front door, while the rester stays in the basement and calls up the number again. The rester. Hi, someone came knocking on the door again, and this time they claimed to be the police, and now my brother is going to answer it. Phone call recipient. Okay, you're still in the basement, right? The rester. Yes. Phone call recipient. Okay, just wait for your brother to come back down and don't go upstairs no matter what you hear. The rester. Okay. A few minutes later, the rester hears his older brother scream. The rester begins to panic and calls the number again. The rester. I just heard my brother scream. Phone call recipient. Okay, let me think for a second. The two are silent for about 10 seconds. Phone call recipient. Oh, I just remembered, your parents have cameras set up outside your front door, and the whole system that allows you to view the recordings from those cameras is set up somewhere in the basement. The rester. Oh, how convenient. I'll look around and see if I can find it. So this was there the entire time, and you didn't think to use it, or like... After a few minutes of searching, the rester eventually finds the video recording system screens set up on the floor in one of the corners of the basement. The rester. Okay, I found it. Phone call recipient. Do you know how to work it? The rester. No, but I can figure it out. I'm usually pretty good with working technology. Phone call recipient. Okay, call me back up later and let me know what you find out. The rester. Okay. After the rester hangs up the phone, he spends a few minutes figuring out the controls of the system, until he eventually figures out how to access specific recordings at specific times and first sets it to the time when he first heard knocking at the door, even though before he had come down to the basement. To his surprise, he notices that it was his parents that were knocking on the door, and that it was them that were trying to get in through the window as well. The rester says to himself, "Why don't they just use their keys?" What he sees next is very unsettling. A man in an all-black suit with an all-black mask covering his entire face appears in the frame and kills both of his parents with a dagger from the back, leaving their bodies at the window/front porch, and then walks away. After noticing that nothing else is happening, he proceeds to skip ahead to the part when the supposed police knocks on the door, and he discovers that it is indeed a police officer. As he continues to watch, he sees his brother open the door and then listens to the cop explain to him how he found his parents dead there on the porch when he arrived. As the conversation between his brother and the police officer continues, the rester once again notices the man in the black suit come into the frame, only since his brother is facing outwards on the porch. Right at the doorstep in the video, he sees the man in the black suit approach the police officer, who is facing inwards on the porch, and therefore isn't able to see the man in the black suit. This is so much unnecessary explanation. And he, his older brother, screams as he watches the man in the black suit kill the police officer. And then him. At this point, and beginning back when the rester saw his parents get killed, the rester is sobbing with absolute grief and sadness over the death of his family. But he continues to watch the past recording, noticing the man in the black suit now enter the house. Immediately, the rester calls back the number from the note and is startled to hear a ringing coming from down in the basement. He turns around and notices the man in the black suit standing at the basement entrance, facing toward him, holding the ringing cell phone in his hands.
What a twist.
Trembling now, the following words manage to escape the lips of the rester. "It was you who killed my family and the policeman." Then, hearing the same voice he had been hearing from the man on the other side of the phone, the rester hears the following words come out from the man in the black suit's mouth. Phone call recipient. "Yes, and it was also me who wrote that note to you so that you could get in touch with me while your parents were gone. So that I could know exactly what was going on from inside without having to be inside the house while you were." The rester. "But why me? Why my family?" Phone call recipient. "Well, obviously I couldn't have given a crap about your parents, as you've seen, and what I've already done to them, and I didn't really need to end up killing your brother, but he just had to come to the door right when the cop was there. But let's be honest, I would have ended up killing him at some point down the road anyways, so I guess then was as good a time as any time now that I think about it, and yes, I couldn't have given a crap about him either. But you, on the other hand, you I've had an real fascination and interest in for a long time. I've been keeping a close eye on you and your family for a while now, picking out every bit of information that I could get from a close enough distance without any of you knowing. Now obviously I didn't plan for things to go exactly like how they did. I wanted to keep all these a secret from you for a little while longer, but once your brother decided to go to the door, I thought I might as well change things up a bit now." The rester. "What do you want with me?" The phone call recipient. "It's not what I want with you. It's what I want for you. I want for you to be like me. I can see you have the potential, at such a young of age as 6, to have already been capable of all the things you've shown me that you've been able to accomplish. Especially on a technological level, you've got the mind power, the instinct to be such a person of the skill level as I. Granted, you haven't shown me anything in the way of being able to do what I do good, that being physical combat, but like I said, There's this sort of young, high level of instinctual habit to you that makes me think that you really have the potential to join me and my army of other people I have recruited who are like you. All I'll need to do is train you to be like me.
He's taking him as the apprentice.
The Rester. What makes you so different from any other guy with a knife? Moments later, multiple cop cars show up on the front lawn, spilling multiple cops from them, all rushing into the house and towards the basement. Phone call recipient. What makes me so different from any other guy with a knife? Oh, I'll show you what makes me different. Immediately, a cop shoots into the basement. The phone call recipient slashes his throat with the dagger, grabbing him by the arm and launches him into the wall. 3 more cops fire into the basement at lightning speeds. All 3 fire their guns at the phone call recipient. The phone call recipient slices through the bullets with his dagger, continuing to do so to more bullets as they continue to get fired at him as more cops continue to flood into the basement, also joining in firing at the phone call recipient, who doesn't fail to slice through a single bullet coming towards him, stopping each and every single one. As he does so, he pulls out another dagger from inside his suit, leaping toward the group of cops, slicing, stabbing, pushing through, throwing, and in doing so, ultimately killing all the dozens of cops who had come into the basement, firing at him, who had failed to land a single shot on him, as he was quicker to slice through and stop any bullet from making contact with his body. Only 1 cop remains, who is all out of bullets now at this point. The phone call recipient runs up to this cop and chokeholds him against the wall. Phone call recipient. Call in all backup now. The cop holds up his walkie-talkie to his mouth, and fighting to speak out, he proceeds to speak the words, calling in all backup. The phone call recipient then stabs both his daggers into the sides of the cop's head, through his ears, and then rips the daggers out, puts them back in his suit, followed by the cop's core falling to the ground. There's an E in corpse, buddy. The Rester. What are you? The phone call recipient pulls off his mask, revealing
I'm just a hero for fun. Sorry.
Revealing not the face of a man, but of a most horrid and terrifying looking beast. Phone call recipient. I'm a demon.
I'm a demon.
The phone call recipient puts his black mask back on. Phone call recipient. Now, sounds like an army of cops is coming for us. Now would be a good time to call in my army of demons to absolutely tear them cops apart limb by limb. You just did this yourself. The phone call recipient takes out his phone and calls in his army. They have cell phones in hell? Now let's get out of this house, shall we? The phone call recipient grabs the Rester by the shirt and walks up and out of the basement, and then put the front door. From miles around, both demons in disguise as people and ordinary cops begin to gather in hundreds. Phone call recipient. Now is your time to choose, young one. I can train you, teach, and make you one of us after me and my army finishes off these cops, I swear to you. Will you join me and my army or their weak, pathetic, and already known by me to get utterly destroyed army of cops? In other words, will you share mine and my other fellow demons' fate? Or the fate of the cops? Conflicted in all levels at this point in time, the Rester gives out his answer. The Rester. Your fate. And that is how DMC2 will go.
Yeah. Oof, the edge.